year. And it is a social enterprise, it's an agribusiness that's taking or inviting formerly incarcerated youth to come into an apprenticeship program where they learn agribusiness skills. So they're learning how to farm, the technical skills of actually farming, but they're also gathering business skills. A be doing is considering the fact that these people were formerly incarcerated, right? So what is life like behind bars, without windows, without being able to freely go where you want to go when you can? So she's helping to build personal development for those people, for those youth, and it's an exciting program, and so that's why we're all here to celebrate tonight. Before I get into the questions what Abia doing, I do want to get a little bit of feedback from everybody in the room. We wanted to talk a little bit about what are some of the misconceptions inside of the local food movement? What are some of the things that you're seeing in Atlanta that you would consider some of the things that might not be like as great as it seems? And I'll give you mine, and then everybody can kind of chime in when you want to. I think that in many ways, the local food movement is being appropriated, right? So you can go to Kroger now and they have this whole local section, but is it really local? You know, there's different tiers to the local food system. So you have food that comes from 25 miles away, you have food that comes from 125 miles away, and then you might have some that are set up in regions, the Southeast, the Midwest, you know, the West Coast. But most of the food that we eat actually comes within over 2,000 miles from us. But back to my question, which was, what are some of the misconceptions in the food system? I'm gonna say that the food system is being co-opted. Any other?
Well, and how do you get that answer? Like when you go to the Kroger and you have in your mind that you want to get something local, and so it's labeled local, but you have to do this extra digging. Where do you do it?
Right. Knowing your farmer, that's a critical one. I mean, a grocery store is like the middleman between us and our food. So we don't know where the food comes from. I mean, they could label it as organic, and it really could not be. So we never really know unless we truly know who our farmers are, who's growing our food, or if we're growing our food ourselves.
All these, like Georgia used to have a commercial composting facility that shut down. I mean, you probably know more about it than I do, but there's constraints around how much you can scale.
I actually just started. I'm new to composting. It's like day 4 or 5. For me personally, I know so many people want to give back and be sustainable and do so many cool things. And yeah, we're seeing it as being a trend. It's trendy right now to give back to the earth and really care about the earth, and that's really sweet. But for it to last, I think it takes certain people to be hey, you need to stay up on it. You need to be hey, this is the stuff, a list of shit that you can go ahead and compost, you know? Because every single thing is practically you can compost it, you know?
Yeah.
People just don't know.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to keep up going to farmers markets year round, and in particular I was at one a couple of weeks ago, and it was a really rainy, cold Saturday morning, and it was such, there were still farmers there, and they had beautiful produce, but it was just such a stark difference to the Sunday Grant Park Farmers Market in May, and it's, I think, getting your own food purchases more local and more sustainable is a process, right? But it's sad to watch that drop off so sharply in the winter, which precisely is when that that economic system is needed more than ever,
I want to interrupt really quick by telling y'all the dinner is on the table. It's family style.
Gangstas To Growers itself, it is an agribusiness training program, and the goals are to keep folks out of the prison system by training them, employing them, and providing them with entrepreneurial opportunities. It's also to boost production on Black-owned farms.
From childhood until right now, till today, how did you get, what was the thing that brought you to starting and founding Gangstas To Growers?
In 2011, when my father died, September 1st, the Occupy movement started a few days later. So being the only child, he didn't have a wife or anything. I got some money, and I was like, oh well, I call myself doing photography, so I was like, well, I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna capture what's going on. Like there wasn't already a million people already doing that. And so I went to LA when they were stopping the barge, you know, stopping the incoming ships and all these things, met a lot of people, found out about Occupy Congress, went to DC and ended up meeting this brother called, Malik Rasan, who started Occupy the Hood. And when I heard him talk, and really it started the night before during the march. After the march, everybody went out and I see these brothers with tattoos on their face and I was like, yo, we need, and this is how I always talked to people, you know, because so I was like, yo, we need brothers like you in the hood, you know, because y'all doing the food tent in the encampment and stuff, so y'all know what's going on. We need more brothers like da-da-da-da, talking that shit. And they were like, oh, you need to meet Malik, you know, tomorrow. I was like, okay. So I met Malik and he was talking that shit. I was like, this sounds like the Panthers. This sounds like the Black Panthers, you know, without the guns. This sounds, you know, programs for our hood. We need to occupy our own hoods. And yeah, these white kids that are out here doing this, they feeling the hurt right now. But, you know, we've been feeling the pain. And so what we need to do is take this energy and start creating programs in our neighborhood to empower our people. I was like, yes, yes, and yes. And so when I got back to Atlanta, I hooked up with his brother and started organizing with Occupy the Hood, where I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't go to no organizer training, but I learned a lot of lessons over these last 5 years. And we realized food first. Yes. And so down the street from where I was living, this other sister from Philly moved down here, who was with Occupy the Hood in Philly. She moved in with me. We started the garden on my block. So having to be on the Westview Neighbors page where white folks and a few black folks are talking about the criminals in the neighborhood, and when I look into their eyes, it seems like they have no soul, and my car got robbed, and this, that, and I'm always having to bring historical context to it, like, well, if they didn't close down 50,000 factories within a 10-year period in this country where a lot of black people made their wealth and bought homes and sent their children to school, and then ended up going to Vietnam War and came home to no jobs, and then Reagan era and crack, you know, just to simplify things. So Gangstas To Growers was born out of all of that. What's gonna happen is, because the only money that we've had for the program is like $1,150, and you know, most of that has gone to the youth and paid instructors and all that stuff. So we're working with like no capital. And so this dinner right here is gonna help get the young people safe serve certified, and get us a shared kitchen space. Like the Great Migration, where folks were moving from the South, from the racist, overtly racist South, and moving to the West and the Midwest and the North, and we're thriving. And you know, you got the Renaissance, you know, the Harlem Renaissance, and all these different things that are going on. Where in Cali, they had all these districts where it was just black art, black love, black life, black food, everything that we could all enjoy. You know what I'm saying? That we can all enjoy. Like, it's time to heal. Like this 2017, like literally y'all, and y'all probably already know this, we're literally living in that time again.
Drake and Future said it's what a time to be alive.
Say Drake and Future.
What a time to be alive.
Be alive. What a time to be alive. Cheers to that, y'all.
Shout out to What Future.
What a time to be alive, y'all.